Blue Squadron wurde suspendiert als Lehrer, weil jemand ihn gesnitcht hat. Jemand hat ihn angeschwärzt, dass er streamen würde. Deswegen haben sie ihn aus der Schule entfernt. Und dazu hat jetzt Asmongold reagiert. Das Ganze ist eine sehr heikle Thematik. Und Blue Squadron ist ein NA-Streamer. Da gehen wir jetzt rein, Leute. Rein in die Reaction. This time for Wakayashi. Okay, ich bin sehr gespannt. Das ganze Video von Asmongold geht 35 Minuten. Ich habe schon bereits so einen Tipp bekommen, dass es ab der 15. Minute ungefähr nur noch um Politisches in USA allgemein geht. Ne? Asmongold hat sogar Blue Squadron scheinbar angerufen und die haben dann telefoniert, sogar über Discord, also in einem Call. Und deswegen würde ich sagen, gucken wir uns mal die ersten 15 Minuten an und dann, denke ich mal, cutten wir das Ganze an der Stelle.
Streamer fired from teaching job after ex-guild members allegedly contacted his work.
Ein Ex-Gilden-Member hat ihn angeschwärzt, ja. Was der Grund dafür ist, das werden wir hoffentlich erfahren.
No, but I'm okay to say it now. So like to my streaming community, my dad was department chair at the school that I taught at. And so like
Sein Vater arbeitet auch an der Schule scheinbar.
honestly, the hardest part about the day was like you know, you go up to your dad and you're like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, like it was inevitably going to happen, but like you don't want that reflecting poorly on him, and then like you just want your parents to be proud of you, right? So like it's one of those. God, bro, they tell you that life is gonna be hard, but like, God, it's so hard.
There's the clip. I haven't seen this. This is my first time watching it. So this is again, this is about a World of Warcraft, or sorry, BDO guild. Hartel, defense lead, and I had a
Das ist ein Statement von Blue Squadron scheinbar in seinem Discord.
knockdown drag out. He's been harassing me for months. I finally put my foot down and said it's either him or me. She chose Hartel and disowned me. I gave her control of the Discord.
Oh, das ist eine Sie. Eine Sie hat, also ein Mädchen hat ihn angeschwärzt an der Schule, an der er arbeitet.
Today, she got uncontrollably mad and blocked me because I put her in an ultimatum situation. I just tried to explain my piece. She screamed at me again, removed me from the Discord after stripping me of all my permissions, then removed me from the guild. I built the guild, I built the Discord, I built the elephants myself. Elephants are siege weapons and siege units that are used in BDO. I got all the points myself. All the work was done by me. I also built the Discord from the ground up, as well as commissioned the guild icon. She did not care. She removed me because she felt Hartel was more valuable. She completely betrayed me and all my hard work I put into the community over the past years, as hostile as it gets, as brutal of a person as it comes. Now,
Also er hat irgendwie die Gilde aufgebaut und er hat alles gemanagt und so und Discord aufgebaut und hat ihr dann die Leitung übertragen und sie hat ihn aus einem Streitgespräch heraus ja aus der Gilde gekickt und irgendwie oder ihn aus dem Discord gekickt und hat ihn um alles betrogen und ja.
I'm trying to look and see if I can find the guy's comment. Okay, here it is. So this is his comment about the situation, and he's going to explain it a little bit further, okay? The streamer, ex-teacher here.
Also es war bekannt, dass er Lehrer war. Er hat darüber auch offen gesprochen, dass er Lehrer ist. Man wusste aber nicht, an welcher Schule er arbeitet. Und ob er es an der Schule auch gemeldet hat, dass er einer Nebentätigkeit als Streamer nachgeht, ist auch jetzt für mich noch nicht bekannt.
Wasn't necessarily anything that you could point as one major thing. I don't do any sort of remotely not safe for work content on my platform. I do, however, stream a game, and the gaming community is, let's be honest, incredibly sexist and objectifies women in a lot of ways. If I make any sort of remark, comment, or even look at a character in a video game in a sexual light, it isn't necessarily appropriate for high schoolers who I taught. I will say that a lot of my content is branded as 18 plus as a way to deter students from watching, but let's be real, they just click right past it. Yes, this guy also was...
Wer kennt es nicht? Wir klicken einfach, ne, mein Stream ist auch ab 18, aber sicherlich schleichen sich hier auch Minderjährige rein und weil ich meine, die Sicherheit ist halt nicht so groß. Du musst einfach nur auf Ja, ich bin 18 klicken und dann geht es einfach direkt in den Stream rein und dann hat er vollen Zugang halt zu 18 plus Content.
Probably.
in dem Sinne trotzdem sehr human und eigentlich auch sehr family-friendly, aber trotzdem, wir Streamer markieren trotzdem diese Streams als ab 18 plus, damit wir halt nicht an irgendwelche TOS-Probleme geraten.
14 as well. At one point in time. Also understand there's a sense of professionalism and respect that is required in the classroom to be a teacher. When students are able to see you cussing belligerently at degenerates online, that sense of professionalism is gone, and so is the respect. To be clear, at no point did any of these things interfere with my classroom duties or responsibilities. Until about 3 days ago, no one had any idea I was a content creator, and I was considered one of
Okay, also er sagt hier, bis vor dieser Situation wusste niemand, dass Blue Squadron als Content Creator einer Nebentätigkeit als Streamer nachgeht. An der ganzen Schule, weder seine Schüler noch die Leitung.
Are the funniest, entertaining, and upstanding teachers at the school. No one had any idea because I never let my online gaming life affect my professional career. Once the two worlds collided, however, it was doomed. Parents will just complain too much, and then I would be trying to censor everything to a G-rated level, which is simply not possible in the gaming space. I will continue on as a full-time content creator and pursue that dream in every regard. I want to make it clear that I loved the school that I worked for, I loved all the students that I taught, and I had a good pleasure of meeting everybody. I guess. I don't know really what that means, but yeah. I love the faculty, and they made an absolutely amazing place to call home. Sadly, my days of teaching have come to an end, but the reality that this really is the beginning of my career as a creator. I wish them all the best and Godspeed. If any of those people need to reach me, you know how.
Also die Eltern der Schüler, die das dann mitbekommen haben dann halt sich darüber beschwert. Ja, wie könnt ihr meine Kinder an so einen Lehrer lassen, der sich da, was auch immer im Netz macht, ne? Er sagt hier weiter, dass auch außerdem seine Karriere als Lehrer zu einem Ende gekommen ist und er jetzt als Content Creator seine Karriere fortsetzen wird, nicht mehr als Lehrer.
So, let's talk about this. I think that if America wants to hold teachers to this high of a standard, they should pay them more money. If you want teachers to be held to a higher standard than the United States president, then you should pay them more money. I'm here if you want to chat. I would love to chat. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Okay, bevor die jetzt ins Gespräch gehen, also jetzt mal nur aus der Deutschland-Perspektive darauf geschaut, ne? In Deutschland ist es so, gerade im öffentlichen Dienst muss man solche Nebentätigkeiten immer melden. Und gerade im öffentlichen Dienst ist alles auch viel sensibler als jetzt auf dem freien Markt, ne? Ich zum Beispiel arbeite im freien Markt und hier der Kollege ist im öffentlichen Dienst tätig, so, und ich kenne mich mit der Gesetzeslage in Amerika nicht aus, ne? Aber ich denke mal auch, dass dort wird es so sein, dass im öffentlichen Dienst sowas meldepflichtig ist. Also, soweit ich weiß, in Deutschland gab es für den öffentlichen Dienst sehr krasse Auflagen, wann du einer Nebentätigkeit nachgehen darfst. Und selbst wenn sie gestattet wird, darf sie nicht in irgendeiner Art und Weise deinen Hauptberuf beeinflussen. Und weiter noch wird das Ganze auch sehr stark limitiert. Du darfst dann wohl irgendwie nur 5 oder 10 Stunden die Woche dieser Nebentätigkeit nachgehen und so weiter und so fort. Also hier schon mal blöd gelaufen für Blue Squadron, dass er es halt nicht kundgetan hat, zumindest der Leitung gegenüber. Dass die Kinder davon nichts erfahren sollen, ist ja klar, ne? Aber er hätte es halt mit der Leitung absprechen müssen, meiner Meinung nach, damit er fein raus ist aus der Sache. Das Problem ist, der Grund, wieso er das vielleicht nicht gemacht haben könnte, liegt wahrscheinlich darin, dass die Leitung das niemals vermutlich akzeptiert hätte. Kann ich mir gut vorstellen. Ich meine, er streamt auch nicht wenig, ne? Blue Squadron streamt ja relativ viel und er ist ja auch jetzt, ich denke mal, privat sind wir Streamer nochmal ein Stück weit anders drauf, ja. Ich meine, ich ziehe auch immer ganz gerne so einen Aluhut an und so, ne, aber trotzdem müssen das Mitarbeiter auf Augenhöhe von mir jetzt nicht unbedingt wissen, weil auch dadurch meine Professionalität so ein bisschen abnimmt, ja, dass die Leitung aber dann dass die höhere Etage davon Bescheid wissen muss, ist halt irgendwo selbstverständlich so, ist gerade aber auch im öffentlichen Dienst natürlich nochmal viel strenger, aber mal gucken, was die jetzt besprechen.
How you doing? It's a tough situation. Situation.
I fucking bet, man. So, did all of this happen? And for anybody who doesn't know, I'm talking right now with Blue Squadron, and he's the guy from the clip that you just watched. And just so you know, thank you for coming on and talking to me about everything. I really do appreciate it. And I think that really, I speak for a lot of people in my community whenever I say that this fucking sucks, man. I'm really sorry about this.
Yeah, I mean,
Gleichzeitig muss ich aber auch sagen, was für ein Bastard muss man sein, ja? Ob Mädchen oder Junge, ist mir scheißegal, aber was für ein Bastard musst du sein, dass du aus irgendeinem Streitgespräch im Spiel den Typen stalkst und dann auch noch so den Randall-Move bringst und einfach ihn anschwärzt. Was für ein Bastard musst du sein? Digga, das, was im Spiel passiert, bleibt im Spiel, Digga, Bro. Lass doch einfach das private Leben von den Leuten in Ruhe. Wieso muss man da ihn auch noch so aufsuchen?
I mean, obviously this blows. I mean, there's a little context that I'd like to give.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so yeah, that whole situation happened with the guild, which sucked. That was the beginning of last week.
Okay.
And then she tried to brand me a pedophile to the community and stuff, so I had to go live about it. And
Warte, was? Was wurde ihm vorgeworfen? Pädophilie?
yeah, pedophile.
She tried to brand me a pedophile. Sie hat versucht, ihn als Pädophilen abzustempeln. Was zur Hölle?
To the community and stuff, so I had to go live about it and
What
obviously
the fuck?
prove. Yeah, so like so her daughter is was in the guild at the time, and I'm not going to specify what age, but definitely over the age of 18. But her mother, who was the GM, blocked me and like was, you know, starting.
Okay, die Tochter von der Person, die ihn angeschwärzt hat, war in der gleichen Gilde wie Blue Squadron und die Mutter war der Gildenmeister.
To remove me from everything. So I messaged her daughter, who was in the guild, and over the age of 18, I said, hey.
Die Mutter hat daraufhin ihn geblockt und entfernt und was auch immer und Blue Squadron hat versucht, die Mutter irgendwie zu erreichen, aber sie hat halt komplett abgeblockt und dann hat er versucht, über die Tochter daran zu kommen.
I think there's something wrong with your
Und die Tochter ist über 18.
mom, etc. And I showed all of this on stream, so I had to disprove all this, you know.
So
'cause when
it's not
somebody-
like you had any sort of a relationship with her, or there was no
Never.
flirting going
No.
on. You literally just
No,
said,
never.
"Why is your
Er
mom
hat nie mit
acting
ihr
crazy?"
geflirtet, mit der
Correct.
Tochter.
And
Yes.
then she
Yeah.
acted crazy after that.
Yes, correct.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, I showed the DMs and everything because
Digga, so eine
when somebody
Karen,
brands
Mann.
you something like this, you're not innocent until proven guilty. Sadly, you have to. It's your job to prove yourself innocent. So I proved myself innocent to the community when I went live the next time, and it was really obvious that was all forged and
And
everything.
of course it's obvious, because if it wasn't, there'd be a bunch of articles and stuff written about it.
Oh yeah, no,
And
I
it didn't
yeah,
happen because it wasn't
yeah,
true.
exactly.
Got it.
Right. And so the next day, after I clear my name, the next day, because clearly the slander didn't work, mysteriously, the students at my school and my administration all found out about my streaming career. Keep in mind, I had taught for a year and a half or more at this point. And
Okay.
so, like,
You
and
were
no one
teaching
had
high
known
school.
anything. Yes. And no one had known anything. It was very under the radar. Like, because I just, you know, you don't want your streaming career interacting with your personal life. But as you said,
Absolutely.
you know, teachers just don't make it. You make $35,000 a year. You just don't
Oh,
make enough
wow,
money
it's
to
that
pay the
much
money.
now. Damn, it's gone up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's, yeah.
$35.000 im Jahr als Lehrer. Bro, das ist, was ist das? Ist das Mindestlohn? Das sind knappe $3.000 brutto. Das sind knappe 3K brutto, Leute. Davon kannst du mal easy 30% abziehen. Übrig bleiben netto 2.000 Euro. $2.000. Bro, da ist es doch nur verständlich, dass er einer Nebentätigkeit nachgehen möchte.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so
Imagine, du studierst Lehramt, damit du am Ende 35K bekommst.
they all mysteriously found out very, very clearly it was leaked. And so I got called into the principal's office. I got called into counseling office.
Right.
There was like damage control all over the place. And like, to be clear, none of my content is NSFW or remotely is technically bad or even close to the TOS line in any way. But you have to understand, for a high school environment.
So
that,
you're
like,
playing BDO, right? So like the majority
Correct.
of what you're talking about is probably going to be maybe looking at a very hot female character and being like,
Correct.
wow, she's hot,
Yeah,
or
she's
probably
attractive, yeah.
yes, exactly, and
Right.
or probably having some form of colorful language whenever you get killed. Is that about right?
Yes,
Yes.
right. And I shot call on
played.
BDO and stuff as well. I also do reactions, kind of like you do.
Smart.
And so like I mean, do I cuss and stuff? Absolutely, but like it's not really necessarily appropriate for teenagers. Now I tried to insulate myself from this as much as I could. You separate personal from professional, and then I had all of my content was branded 18 plus. and you know, in an attempt to basically try to deter people. But you know, once they knew the cat was out of the bag and that was it, well, the principal initially tried to defend me and was like, Blue will stand by you. It'll be okay. Nothing I've seen on your channel really looks all that bad. And I was like, okay, well, this is good.
Good, yeah,
you know, this is a W. Well, the next day we got called in again because some of the students got upset because I had a thumbnail that was, well, let's be honest. So some of the skins in BDO are
they're
cultured.
really nice, aren't they?
Right, and they make great thumbnails because they're passionate. You know, it's like a passionate thing. So like
and this is a thumbnail on YouTube.
Yeah, because I just started YouTube like 3 or 4 months ago.
Good.
And so like that's been doing pretty well, and that's part of the reason for the problem here is because once they found the YouTube, it was going in basically. So they found the thumbnails and stuff. I took the thumbnails down, and obviously I tried to insulate myself a little bit, but then, you know, parents start calling the school because I'm...
Also irgendein Schüler hat dann ein Thumbnail von ihm gesehen, worüber er dann so ein bisschen gemischte Gefühle hatte. Ne? Irgendein Thumbnail wahrscheinlich von irgendeinem BDO weiblichen Charakterskin, der so ein bisschen freizügiger war, und deswegen, ne, dass dieser gleiche Schüler wahrscheinlich aber selber einen Brazzers-Account hat, weißt du, darüber wollen wir jetzt erstmal nicht reden, wahrscheinlich, ne? Aber ein Skin von einem weiblichen Charakter in BDO, der neu released wurde, ja, der hat dem Schüler gemischte Gefühle gegeben.
Cussing, and he's objectifying women because he's looking at boobs, you know, like, and like...
Oh mein Gott, Digga, die Eltern haben daraufhin reagiert, so von wegen so, ja, er ist ein Lustmolch und färbt sich ein auf virtuelle Internetcharaktere, weibliche Internetcharaktere. Digga, was das für... Ich sag dir, Digga, ich hab's euch gestern schon gesagt, Leute. Die meisten Eltern, ne, das sind halt noch so ältere Generationen, die sind nicht mit dem Internet aufgewachsen, ne? Die können das nicht einschätzen, die können das nicht einordnen. Die verstehen das einfach nicht. Die verstehen einfach das ganze Internet nicht, Digga. Die Leute, die heute geboren werden, ne, die mit dem Internet aufwachsen, die werden dafür Verständnis haben, aber das wird halt erst frühestens in 20 Jahren passieren.
Again, none of it was actually NSFW content, but like, as for the classroom, as far as the classroom goes, there's a certain amount of respect, like a professional respect that you have to have for your teacher. And once that respect is gone because you see your teacher cussing at degenerates because they eat 3 boxes of Crayola to maintain their fucking body weight every day, like they get like, that's it. You know what I mean? That respect is gone. And so like, like eventually, so I got called into school yesterday, like right at the end of the school day, right before fall break, and she was like, "We've reached the end of the road," and I was like, "Really, that fast? It happened that fast?" We went downhill. The attorney got involved.
So it was just because of the thumbnail. That was the only frame of reference that you had that they made their decision on. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they said, "Oh, well, you made an Instagram. You made an Instagram reel where, like, it was this clip from the stream where somebody redeemed a text to speech, and they said if sex with 2 people is a twosome and sex with 3 people is a threesome, and you're handsome, what does that say about you?" Yeah, you know, and I made that into a reel, and obviously people got really upset about that at the school, right?
Wow.
Like that's funny content, but like the students didn't appreciate that very much.
Sure. And do you think that these actually
yeah.
were the students, or do you think that these are people in your guild that were pressuring the students that had found these? Because this is what I think happened, right? And like, I don't know, that's why I'm asking you, is like, I feel like they probably sent them to the school saying they're fucking students, right? Like, hey, I'm a fucking student, like this is bothering me, and so now you need to do something about it. But like, the truth is, this is like just like this crazy lady.
Yeah, I mean, like, so the truth of the matter is, I think it was a domino effect. I think all that really needed to happen here is one of these people needed to just leak it to the students, and once it is leaked to the students, teenagers go nuts over this stuff. You said it many times on stream. Everybody wants to be a content creator when they're younger, like this, right? And
so they're
like,
talking about it constantly.
Correct. It spread like a wildfire. So really, realistically, all they would have had to do is reach out anonymously on Twitter to any of the students, Instagram, like the school's Instagram, or any of that sort of stuff. There's a million different ways it could have leaked, but once it did, it was just a domino effect. Then the students just started calling stuff in, and the parents eventually got involved, and that was just the way that it goes.
So do you think that they did contact the students?
I mean, like, let's look at the timeline of events, right? Like, she drops me from the guild and community. She tries to slander me. That does not work. She tries to play victim, and immediately the next day, I am literally being baked over the coals.
Yeah.
Okay, also es ist nicht schwarz auf weiß gedruckt, dass diese Mutter, ne, der Gildenmeister, die Gildenmeisterin, ihn quasi angeschwärzt hat. Er vermutet es aber, weil es einfach so glaubwürdig ist. Ne? Es passt zu dem Zeitpunkt quasi wie das fehlende Puzzlestück da rein. Und er geht deshalb davon aus, dass diese Gildenmeisterin ihre Finger im Spiel hatte, ihn zu leaken. Ihn zu exposen.
School, like after a year and a half where it was like just dead silence, nobody knew anything. So like it's beyond a reasonable doubt to me.
That's what I would say too. So like she's like potentially, and is this one person or how many people is this conflict
I
with?
assume it was really kind of just those two people that were in my guild at the time, and like I don't know really what necessarily possesses them, but I will say that this particular person that led the guild turned out to be a very chronic liar, with all sorts of, oh my gosh, once it started coming out, it was like, oh my god, wait, no, she never did this. Wait, she never did that. Like, it was.
So you're talking about, like, I mean, this person was contacting minors and sending them things that, under their own context of the reason why they are sending it to them, sending them things that minors shouldn't be looking at. Because if their logic is that this is problematic, if this is problematic, then they would not be sending it to this person. But they are.
And like, I mean, like, again, there's no way that I can prove that it was them.
No,
right?
you can't.
Like, there's a million different ways that this could have been done. But again, the timeline of events has to lead me to believe that, like, this is logically what happened, and somebody just went to go try to destroy my life. Was partly successful, but I'll be honest, it's always been my dream to be a full-time content creator. So now I don't have to work a 90-hour work week. I just have to work as a content creator.
90 hours, is that right?
Coach. Well, I mean, you work as a teacher, right? That's at least 50 hours a week, because you're at school for at least 40. Then you have your homework and your grading and everything, which is another at least 10 lesson preps and all that. Then I was a cross-country coach as well. So, like, that's another.
So you were even doing extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you were just a teacher.
Also er sagt ja 40 Stunden Job, ne, wo du an der Uni, wo du an der Schule bist und dann noch 10 Stunden Hausaufgaben kontrollieren oder so oder irgendwelche Klausuren vorbereiten, was auch immer. Und dann hat er noch darüber hinaus ein paar Aktivitäten gehabt in Bezug auf die Schule, sodass er auf diese 90 Stunden kommt.
You were going above and beyond.
No, yeah, no. I really cared about my career and like pushing it forward. So like, and then you have the content on the side. I was streaming 4 days a week on top of all of that, and you prep all your streams. You have YouTube content on the back side of it. Yeah, you're easily over 90 hours a week, basically every week with no days off.
Achso, mit 90 Stunden ist auch schon inkludiert, dass er 4 Tage die Woche streamt und dann noch seinen YouTube-Content macht.
But that's the life of a creator. You know.
Every day, all day.
Yeah,
that's just how it is.
All day. Yeah,
yeah, and that is insane, man. I heard actually this is kind of like a thing about being a teacher. I had a friend who's a teacher, and they told me that you have to have an app, at least here in Austin, that you respond to parents with. Do you have to deal with anything like that where you're at?
There were so not at the school that I was at, but many of my colleagues at other schools. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Now, like I didn't need an app, but I will say that if I didn't respond to parent emails, I immediately, like, it was within 24 to 48 hours. Like, hey, why haven't you responded to this parent's email? Or hey, what's going on with this? Yeah. So I mean, it was a tough life being a teacher, especially as like a first year teacher. You're making everything from scratch and everything. You're getting paid dirt. You know what I mean? You have to do I felt like I had to do content creation on the side. Every teacher has a side hustle. You simply cannot pay the bills with a teacher's salary. And so, my side hustle just happened to be a little bit more public than most.
So, like, this obviously is, like, what you're saying is $35,000 a year. And, like, I'm sure that, like, can you dispel the rumor that some people have that the 3 months of summer vacation, you just take the entire time off?
Well,
because you've heard it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know. So it's really 2 months because you really don't. Everybody's like June, July, August. Well, you don't get all of August, and you definitely don't get all of June. So it's really like it's definitely closer to 2 months. And like really, what you have to do in order to make up the difference on your salary is the summer's harder than the school year. You have to work so much harder in the summer because you're getting paid as a teacher still, but it's so low, and you have to make all of that difference up in 2 months because once the school year starts again. Well, now you have to work full-time hours again for this really bad pay. Like, oh man, it was tough for me. They offered me summer school, but again, I just went. My big project was, like I said, I've been doing YouTube for about 3 or 4 months. I developed all my YouTube skills and tried to start editing, and that's what I did. I started my YouTube channel and tried to get that rolling. And so like my content has always been the thing that I really try to invest into, because I was hoping that, if it snowballs, I don't have to like kill myself working 90 hours a week to try to make ends meet.
Oh, I think that's definitely the dream. I mean, especially as a teacher, man. And I think it's great that you're doing it, and like it's phenomenal that you're able to like set aside that much time to stream, even on top of working at the same time. And it makes me wonder, right? Because I'm sure that these rules and these types of like social structures, these were designed probably in like the 1950s, things like that, and 70s, etc., of like the relationship between a teacher and a student and the professionalism, etc. Can you see that being able to exist now, whenever everybody is like, because back then you didn't have cameras everywhere, you didn't have people that were working online, you didn't have the amount of exposure that people are just given publicly that anybody can have access to, whether it's social media or anything else, just like a random thing on the internet. How do you think that should change? Like, because I feel like this is very problematic, fundamentally.
I mean, like the biggest problem is that the kids have their phones out all the time, 24/7. There's no stopping it. You can't hold their attention for more than about a 90-second video, because that's how long TikToks are basically allowed to be. But like, it's like in terms of professionalism, you essentially have to, in terms of professionalism, you essentially have to do, everything has to be perfect. You're on display all the time. It's just like when I'm on stream, I basically have lots of prying eyes, because anything that you do that is remotely
can't be caught slipping.
They're immediately going to record it. They're going to try to clip it out of context. It happened 2 or 3 times to me. And fortunately, I was able to survive it until we got to the stream, and I was like, well, this is doomed. Because, I'm going to cuss and stuff, and that's the end of it. But like, as far as professionalism goes, I'm not really sure that there is a solution, because the problem is we live in a society where like no one has to have accountability. No one's actually responsible for anything that they do wrong. So if a student has a low grade, they're going to be looking for something.
That's your fault.
That's on me.
You did that to them.
Correct. Yeah. There was a new school policy where that just got implemented, where if you have a D or below, you actually weren't allowed to participate in sports for the week, which started off as like supposed to be a good thing, but really what that meant was I was going to get harassed by the counselors and the parents and everything if I gave them a grade that was below. Why aren't you
letting my kid play sports?
Exactly. Now it's my fault. Now it's on me. So instead of giving the student accountability, like, hey, maybe it's because Clara didn't turn any work for the last 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Or she's sniffing glue in class. There's nothing I can do about that.
It's like, man, maybe it's not your fault. No, I was in high school. I was in kind of a low-income high school, and a lot of times, of course, we didn't have all great teachers, but we didn't have all great students either.
Right.
That's just how it is.
I mean, most of my students were actually amazing. I actually loved most of my students, but
Okay, brechen wir das hier an der Stelle ab. Wir sind schon bei 20 Minuten. Jetzt geht es schon in Richtung so allgemeine Weltanschauung von Lehrern und Schülern. Ja, also schwieriges Thema. Es ist halt doomed. So, er war in seinem ersten Jahr als Lehrer engagiert. Das heißt also, er hätte wahrscheinlich über die nächsten Jahre höhere Gehaltsstufe bekommen und dann halt auch mehr verdient. Aber er war in einer Zwickmühle. Also Blue war in einer Zwickmühle. Er hatte sich das jetzt alles aufgebaut, sein Kanal, sein YouTube-Kanal, sein Twitch-Kanal, und sein Traum war es oder ist es, Fulltime Content Creator zu werden. Also wie hätte er eurer Meinung nach reagieren sollen? Also er sagt, jeder Lehrer hat bei ihm einen Side-Hustle, also eine Nebentätigkeit, der er nachgeht, um das niedrige Gehalt auszugleichen. Ja, es ist halt schwierig. Das Ding ist, das ist halt das Problem auch vom öffentlichen Dienst, ne? So, als Lehrer musst du halt eine gewisse gesellschaftliche Rolle einnehmen, und gerade wenn das dann halt publik wird halt auf alles viel kritischer geschaut, als es eigentlich eigentlich ist, so, ne? Und dann, wenn man dann da so ein Thumbnail sieht mit einem weiblichen Charakter, die ein bisschen vielleicht freizügiger ist, wird das halt direkt auf die Goldwaage gelegt und ja, die Eltern der Schüler fangen dann direkt an, schlecht zu reden, ne? Also, er hätte es halt, keine Ahnung, mit einem Vertrauten in der Leitung halt irgendwie mal ansprechen sollen, damit er zumindest da so ein bisschen, damit das glatt gezogen wird. Auf der anderen Seite, keine Ahnung, finde ich es halt, es wurde jetzt nicht bewiesen, dass diese Guildmeisterin ihn verpetzt hat, aber es passt halt zusammen, ne? Und da frage ich mich halt so, was für ein Bastard-Move, was für ein L-Move ist das bitte, wenn sie dann ihn halt noch privat aufsucht und das dann so liegt und veröffentlicht. Sehr, sehr schwieriges Thema. Schreibt gerne mal unten in die Kommentare, was ihr dazu denkt. Was hättet ihr Blue geraten? Wie hätte er damit umgehen sollen?